You wake up, coffee in hand, and the list of things to do feels heavier than your body. Not because you can't, but because your mind already feels drained. You tell yourself, I'm just lazy, yet somehow you keep going through the motions. But what if it's not laziness? What if your brain is sending you a signal you've been ignoring for too long? What if this exhaustion is deeper, hidden, and far more important than a missed deadline? You push through the day, emails, messages, responsibilities. Each one feels like a pebble in your pocket, but your pocket is already full. By evening, you collapse on the couch, scrolling mindlessly. Guilt creeps in. Why can't I do more? Your friends invite you out, and you decline. Not because you don't want to connect, but because socializing feels like climbing a mountain in your brain. You avoid hobbies, exercise, even small joys. Every action is weighed down by an invisible gravity. This pattern erodes your self-image. You start believing you are incapable, unmotivated, weak. You may call yourself lazy, but the truth is subtler and quieter. Psychologists call this emotional exhaustion. It's a specific state different from tiredness, rooted in how your brain processes stress, social signals, and unmet emotional needs. Here's the first relief. You are not broken. This exhaustion is not a flaw. It's a signal, a protective adaptation your brain has developed over time. Think about a phone battery. You wouldn't force it to run apps when it's at 5%. Your brain works the same way. When emotional energy is low, tasks that require decision-making, creativity, or social interaction suddenly feel impossible. This isn't laziness. It's a survival mechanism. Your mind is quietly saying, I've hit my limit, please recharge. The mistake is interpreting this signal as personal failure. You've learned to hide it, ignore it, or label it laziness, but science says otherwise. To understand why this happens, we need to look at executive function. This is the part of your brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-control, mainly the prefrontal cortex. When you experience chronic emotional load, stress at work, social tension, unresolved conflicts, your amygdala signals danger. It triggers a stress response. Cortisol rises, energy is redirected, and your prefrontal cortex slows down. Here's a simple metaphor. Imagine your brain as a busy airport. The runway represents your attention and decision-making. Emotional stress? That's a storm. Flights are delayed. Only essential planes take off. Non-urgent tasks get stuck on the tarmac. Your brain does this automatically to prevent overwhelm. Over time, repeated stress reduces your cognitive bandwidth, making ordinary tasks feel impossible. And yet, because society values productivity, your mind interprets the slowdown as a personal failing. Another way to visualize it, think of emotional energy as a glass of water. Every social interaction, decision, or worry pours more in. Eventually, it overflows not because you're careless, but because your glass is full. Here's how to work with this. Grounded in psychology. These are not motivational tips, they are brain-based strategies. 1. Recognize your emotional load. What to do. Track your energy for a week. Note tasks or interactions that leave you drained. Why it works. Awareness engages the metacognitive network, your brain's ability to monitor itself, which is the first step in preventing overwhelm. Example, you notice replying to group chats drains you more than work emails. Now you understand why evenings feel heavy. 2. Prioritize recovery like a task. What to do? Schedule small, restorative breaks daily. Walk, meditate, or just sit quietly. Why it works? Your parasympathetic nervous system uses these breaks to reduce cortisol and restore executive function. Example: a 5-minute walk after lunch can make your afternoon decisions feel lighter. 3. Set emotional boundaries. What to do? Limit interactions that drain you or require emotional labor. Say no gently. Why it works? Conserving emotional resources prevents chronic prefrontal cortex overload. Example: declining a late-night text thread so you can preserve energy for meaningful work tomorrow. 4. Micro decisions, not marathon tasks. What to do? Break tasks into tiny steps. Focus on one micro decision at a time. Why it works? Smaller demands reduce cognitive load, keeping your prefrontal cortex from shutting down. Example: instead of clean the entire apartment, start with just clearing the desk. Momentum follows naturally. 5. Externalize and offload. What to do? Write worries, thoughts, or pending tasks in a notebook or digital tool. Why it works? Offloading reduces mental clutter, freeing cognitive bandwidth for decision making. Example: a quick brain dump of worries before bed reduces rumination and helps sleep. All of this comes down to a simple mental model. Energy is currency. You are not failing when tasks feel heavy. Your brain is budgeting energy, prioritizing survival, and emotional stability first. By recognizing emotional load, scheduling recovery, and protecting your bandwidth, you're learning to spend your energy wisely, not harder, not faster. Think of it like tending a fire. Adding kindling too fast smothers the flame. Careful, mindful tending keeps it burning steadily. You are not lazy. You are carrying invisible weight. Acknowledging that is the first step toward clarity. Your brain is not failing, it is signaling. Listening is not weakness, it is wisdom. Tomorrow, when your tasks feel heavy again, remember, your exhaustion is real, valid, and human. And just like any storm, it will pass. But only if you honor it rather than fight it blindly. So take a breath, sit with it, and remember, your energy is precious. Treat it with care.